everyone, my name is Candace Peppers. I'm the patient educator as well as one of the medical assistants here with the Nicholson Clinic. This is our stage 4 maintenance video. Stage 4 is also known as the maintenance stage, and it starts at day 43 and goes beyond. That is considered the maintenance stage. That is why it's called maintenance, because this is what? It's when you maintain or continue losing throughout the remainder of your life. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go over what this stage includes, or some of the things that your transition from stage 2 to stage 3 would include, and go over a few things that might be beneficial for you. You can always reach out to me via email, or you can call our offices and I can go over any questions that you may have, but I'm going to quickly just dive in. Okay, first thing I'm going to go over is one of our food source lists that you may receive at one of your visits prior to getting to this stage. You may get it at your 6-week visit, you may get it at your 4-week visit, but you will receive this at some point. If you do not receive it, you are more than welcome to email me at Candace, that's CANDACE at nicholsonclinic.com, and I'll be happy to send it to you. What this includes is quite a few things that are protein sources that we would prefer for you to fill your plate with first. Then non-starchy vegetables, which would be your second filler for your plate, and healthy fat sources, which would go somewhere along the plate as well. And then 2 other columns that you need to limit and avoid if you are trying to continue losing. Now, the closer you get to your goal, you can of course include a little bit more of those, but as long as you are trying to continue losing, and the closer you are to getting to your goal, or the further you are for your goal rather, you need to just steer clear of the last 2 columns on this page. So here's what it will look like. It's provided to us by SciMed, who most of you have seen already. But the first list, I'm just gonna kind of go over quickly with you and just list a few things. So we have beans, of course, because those are kind of a double-edged sword. They do hold a lot of protein, however, they're also a higher end on the carbohydrate, but a lot of you are vegan, so we like to provide options for you as well. Then there's also lean beef, chicken, cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is an amazing source of protein. That is something that we have told you about from stage 2 on, and it's just a wonderful source. That is something you can throw in to snack on. That is something that you can work into a meal. So that is a high item on my list. Edamame, shelled of course. And you want to limit your salt intake on the edamame. So I know a lot of you, if you have it out and about, it's covered in salt. Limit the salt. So if you're making it at home, perhaps you want to maybe zest some lemon on the outside of it and flavor it with a natural seasoning instead of more of a sodium season, so that you're not retaining so much water. Then you have eggs. Eggs are a wonderful source of protein. However, if you are watching your cholesterol, you don't want to have too many eggs. Then you have Greek yogurt. I'm going to go over Greek yogurt because I'm a huge fan of Greek yogurt. If you've watched another video of mine, this is one of my favorite options, and it can be used in multiple ways. Then we have lentils, which is another form of protein, but yet carbs. So, you kind of have to limit one of those, or some of those. Then you have your seeds, your lean pork, protein bars. Now, protein bars, you have to really pay attention to the label. Not all protein bars are created equal. So you really have to learn how to read the labels. If you aren't familiar with reading your labels, please, please, please do not hesitate to give me a call, and I'd be happy to go over that with you. If you would like, I'm happy to meet with you here at our office, or I know that any of our PAs would be happy to go over it with you in the clinic. But please ask before just picking up any protein bar and eating it, because a lot of times you can pick up the wrong bar and end up gaining instead of losing, okay? Then we have protein powder, which is shakes. Protein powder, we have a wonderful provider of Bariatric Advantage as well as Quest. Relaunch, well actually Relaunch is no longer available, but there is Doc Hale, which is the same as Relaunch, just under, it's basically a different label. They're pretty much the same. They taste the same. Then there's many others. Quest is one of my all-time favorites. Then there's protein shakes, which is, we love Premier. And then there's protein waters as well. So there's so many different options. There's sunflower seeds, tofu. Tofu is an amazing source, can be flavored so many different ways. I mean, it's like there's limitless on the ways that you can flavor tofu. There's turkey and ground turkey, turkey sausage, turkey bacon, turkey jerky, deli turkey. And then there's all your wild game. Then you have your non-starchy vegetables. What are those, you ask? It's all of your leafy green ones. So think, if it's grown and you have to pull it from the ground, it's going to be starchy. If it's white, it's going to be starchy, except for your cauliflower. Cauliflower is not starchy, and that's a wonderful source of a vegetable for you. But potatoes, no. Okay, so you have artichokes, asparagus, green beans, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, celery, cucumber, eggplant, green onion, kale, leeks, leafy greens, lettuce, mushrooms. See, all of those before mushrooms, they were all green. I mean, every one of them. So just think, go to your green section of your grocer and buy one of each and enjoy. Okra, onions, pea pods, peppers, all variety of peppers are perfect. Radishes, spinach, tomatoes, turnips, watercress, yellow squash, and zucchini, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay? All right, so things that are healthy fats. What are those? Avocado. Avocado is one of my favorite options. Now, there's so many different ways to use avocados that will be beneficial for you and beneficial for your health and your tummy. So, how to use it in a recipe. You can create so many delicious things with avocado. You can take this Starkist tuna pouch, and instead of using mayonnaise, which would be a not so healthy fat, you can use avocado as your mayo. And use it this way. You can use it as your mayo for a burger. You can use it as your mayo in egg salad. You can make deviled eggs with it. There's so many different options. I mean, it's anywhere where you would use mayonnaise or sour cream, try avocado and see how that works, and you'll find there's no less flavor, and 99% of the time you'll like it just as much, if not more. Okay? Avocado oil is also a healthy fat. Then there's chia seeds, coconut oil, cacao, 75% or greater dark chocolate. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Eggs, pasture raised. Flaxseed, ghee, which is clarified butter. Nuts, nut butter, nut oils, olive oil, omega-3 fish oils, and you always want to first look for the cold pressed or extra virgin of these. Okay, so that's just a quick rundown of what's on this list. So a lot of times when you get to this stage, you're like, what can I have? There's so many options. You just have to broaden your horizons and get in the kitchen and figure out what you're gonna make next, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna go over what's in front of me. So whenever you go to cook your dinner for you and your family, so say you wanted to make this is gonna be your lunch, so take this for your lunch, throw a little avocado in there. For me, just having this lemon pepper seasoning packet, that's not enough flavor, so I have to add a little bit more lemon pepper. Say you don't have a seasoning packet. This is the perfect amount. Sometimes this will be too much for your little pouch. But this in water is packed full of protein, and it's the perfect amount for probably 2 days worth of lunch for you once you add avocado to it. Throw a few cherry tomatoes in there, maybe throw it over a little bit of fresh spinach, and bam, there you go. Sometimes I even like to add a little scoop of cottage cheese and give it a little bit more of a punch of protein, and it's delicious. So there's that. Then we have Laughing Cow cheese. So this is a perfect option to add to your breakfast routine if you want to. I add it into my scrambled eggs in the morning. I take two eggs and I scramble them, and then I add one wedge of cheese, and it's just a perfect little breakfast on the go or here in the office. And it's easy and delicious, and sometimes if I even think about it, I'll add some uncured Canadian bacon, which is really easy and delicious and nutritious. Okay, so there's that, and this is also a perfect snack for you in the afternoons with the little baby tri-bell peppers, like the red and yellow and orange. They're delicious with this. Or you can smear this on a cucumber. It's whichever you prefer, but delicious snack. It's got a little bit of protein in it, and it's perfect for your little pouch. Okay, so then if you are cooking and you want to know how much to portion out. So this is my handy dandy food scale. I've been using this for a long time, and I got this at Walmart. Now I do apologize. I have misplaced the bowl for the top, so I have just replaced it with a regular glass bowl that we have here. But you will see that this is really easy to maneuver, and this holds 2 cups. Very easy. So it's not like sticking just a little cylinder on here and trying to shove everything down in there. This is just super simple, and you just shove 2 cups of fresh chopped broccoli in there after they've been steamed, and you're not really just pulverizing it as you're shoving it down into like a cup that's tall. Okay, so this is perfect, and it's really easy to figure out your servings because it just rolls around, right? Okay, so then if you're ever wondering, well, how do I know my portion sizes? How do I know on my plate? Well, I've drawn you a little plate here because I've misplaced my portion plate. So you'll have to you'll have to excuse the non-professional look here, but this way you'll kind of know every time you see a little plate. So always eat the center of the plate. Never have it really touching, because honestly, you're not going to fill this whole portion up with your protein. You're just going to know that the majority of your plate is going to be your protein. The second largest is going to be your veggies. And the third, should you be able to get to it, is going to be your fruit or your grains. This is how you're going to always, always, always fill your plate, should you eat this in this form or fashion. Most of you choose 6 small meals throughout the day, which is perfectly fine because we want you to choose whatever works best for you. If you choose to have 3 larger meals, this is what you really should choose. Always eat your protein first, your veggies second, and if you get to your third, then this is what you're going to choose third, okay? So then I'm going to move on to yogurt, a wonderful form of probiotic. Delicious choice for protein, and it works in so many different ways. So Fage Total, you can use this as a sour cream. It's like I said, it's a wonderful probiotic, so it's good for your gut health. And it's got 18 grams of protein. You guys will not be able to finish this whole thing in one serving, more than likely. But if you're wondering how to add more protein to it, if you have to cut it in half, add some natural peanut butter to it. This is my all-time favorite natural peanut butter. It's packed with protein. It's got 8 grams of protein and 2 carbs for 2 tablespoons, which that's amazing. It's delicious. Always store it in your refrigerator upside down so that the oils drain down and you don't have dry, crusty peanut butter on the top. But this is hands down the best if you're not going to go ahead and make it yourself. Because not everybody can go to Central Market or wherever and make their own peanut butter. This is the best. You can also, if you open this and you just kind of want something sweet, you can take stevia, which is what we prefer that you use for a sweetener, and squirt a couple squirts into this, and it will become a sweet treat in the afternoon. If you prefer, like, say, a strawberry watermelon treat, if you have any of the flavor packets or Crystal Light squeezers, you can do that also, and it will become whatever flavor you choose. We don't recommend you doing that in every liquid or yogurt that you have, but we do say it's okay from time to time, okay? Then that is also a wonderful thing to use as a sour cream. It's delicious. I actually prefer it over sour cream at this point. And I use it in many recipes at my house. So now, next I'm going to talk about eating out. So eating out, making the best choices. Always choose a meat and a veggie, point blank. Just like as if you were going home. So I have chosen 3 places that I would normally choose for myself, and I just chose off of that menu. The first place that I chose to discuss would be Zoe's Kitchen. So I said for Zoe's Kitchen, we would choose chicken kebabs, steak kebabs, salmon kebabs, shrimp or veggie kebabs. Super simple, keep it simple. Eat your meat, and then you can have some hummus, and then of course you can have their salad. It's very simple, it's very filling, but you always have your meat first. Hummus is also a wonderful source of protein because it's just chickpeas and it's delicious. Just go easy on your pita bread should you choose to have your pita bread, because that will fill you before anything else, and then you will not be able to get any protein in. All right. Then I chose Cafe Express. They have soups that you can have. It's black bean soup, they have a chicken soup, and then they have a Southwest chili. All 3 of those options are perfectly okay. Then if you choose to have a burger, what's the best way to eat a burger? Bunless. Just ask them to serve it bunless. Or you can also ask them to serve it on a salad, or to wrap it in a big large piece of lettuce. A lot of even the fast food chains today will have an option to put it in a large piece of lettuce. It's almost like doing a guilt-free burger. That even if they don't offer it, you might ask them to. And you sleevers, you might even ask if they have a children's burger that they will do this for, because you won't, you'll be wasting your money ordering like a double patty adult burger. Then, of course, it's always smart to add extra protein with like avocado, bacon. Of course, you want to watch your sodium and your fat intake there. But then you can always add cheeses and all the good things, which are your vegetables. Then for a side item, you always want to go with the healthier items first. But remember, 99% of the time at the restaurants, they are covered in some sort of butter or delicious sauce. You always want to tell them that they need to be steamed without the sauce if you are still trying to lose the weight. And then just ask them to squeeze lemon or take something like this. Ask them what kind of seasoning they have for it, and then ask them to bring that to your table, and you sprinkle it as you eat it, okay? That's always a better option, because there's always a hidden fat or carbohydrate or something in the sauce, okay? The same with condiments. Ketchup is full of sugar. Barbecue sauce, full of sugar. Honey mustard, full of sugar. So you can have mustard, but that's pretty much the only one that's not full of sugar. Condiments on the side. Build your own burger in front of you. Then we're going to talk about a few recipes that I'd be happy to send you. If you would like them, just send me an email. So I'm not going to go over the recipes necessarily, but I will tell you a few things that you can have in this Well, actually, you can have pretty much anything in the maintenance phase, but I do have a website called paleorunningmama.com. I'd like to give her a shout out because she has a wonderful recipe for bacon wrapped pork tenderloin that I would be happy to share with you. Then we also have creamy white wine Dijon chicken from the Cookie Rookie website. Then there is oven baked ribs from the Cookie Rookie. White wine chicken stew from the Cookie Rookie. And lastly, I want to talk about meal prepping. Meal prepping is your surefire way to success. If you follow us on our Facebook support group, you'll find that those who meal prep and plan for their week on Sunday, they are gearing up for success for their week. You can never fail if you set yourself up in the proper way. You can find bento boxes, which is the little boxes to prepare your food in and have it ready for the week, on Amazon or Sam's or Costco. And a lot of them are divided in ways that you can set yourself up just like this. You can set it up to where you can make an egg muffin for your breakfast. You can have your lunch divided into that compartment, and then you can have something for your dessert in the dessert compartment. Or you can simply have it to where you compartmentalize the whole portion of your lunch, just different areas. So it's really up to you, but you can never fail with meal prepping. You can do a 1-sheet pan meal, and on a Sunday, create 1 sheet with everything you are going to eat on there, and then divide it out into 5 days, and bam, you're done. You got your whole week's worth of meals. And I promise you, you will never fail, okay? It's all in the way that you prepare and you set yourself up and you get it in your head that you're gonna do this, you're gonna get this right, and you'll never fail, okay? Next we have, we're gonna talk about how putting things in the freezer. If you're gonna make a big batch, eat what you're gonna eat at the moment, and set some aside in the freezer, and then you know, okay, so I remembered I have that in the freezer. Let me go ahead and grab that out. That way, that's another way to never fail. You'll never fail if you set yourself up for success, okay? It's all about preparing, planning, and following through. Now, should you have a moment or a time when you have a hiccup, there's nothing wrong with this. It happens. Just know that it does happen. There's bumps in the road. We all hit them, and that's okay. There's a thing called a 10-day reset. If you will come back, email me, or I believe we even have it listed here on the website. You can follow the 10-day reset, and it will reset your mind and your stomach, and it will get you back on the go, get you back in the resetting of all the steps, and a lot of times kickstart that weight loss again. A lot of times if you plateau, this will help. If you hit a stall, any sort of kickback to where you're just falling off the wagon and having too many sweets, or sometimes people just do it just because over the holidays or right after the holidays, just because they need to get that initiative to start back up and do a healthy lifestyle. Okay? Then, alcohol. We always want to answer the alcohol question. Try to avoid alcohol for at least 6 months. Now, we know that this sometimes can be hard. 4th of July, the holidays, Easter, any occasion where you might want to have an adult beverage with your friends. Just remember, things that you mix, they always have calories. A mixer is generally very high in sugar. Nothing with carbonation. And the alcohol itself is going to affect you much differently than it did prior to your surgery. So just keep that in mind. Tread lightly and ease back into drinking should you choose to before we advise. and when you decide to, okay? White wine or some sort of wine is always the best choice as well. And vitamins, that is my last part of this discussion. So vitamins, make sure that you are continuing to take your vitamins on a daily, in a daily regimen. For sleevers, we want you to be taking a daily multivitamin as well as vitamin D, 5,000 IUs daily. Make sure that you are getting B12, 2,500 mcgs per week. If we haven't given you a prescription for Nascobal nasal spray, or even if we have, but it's some reason you weren't able to get it, just make sure that you have an over-the-counter B12 sublingual or something along those lines that is equivalent to 2,500. Sometimes 5,000 mcgs is easier to find, and that's perfectly acceptable. Just make sure that you're adding that into your weekly regimen or every other week regimen. And anything else that we have found in your labs that you make sure that you are adding in. Now, for those of you who are bypass patients, we want you to be making sure that you do get a multivitamin twice daily. It's very important, okay? Now, for those of you who need calcium, we would have told you that you need calcium as well as if you need iron. We would not advise you take iron unless we have told you so or your PCP has told you so. You do not just need to take iron just because you've read it somewhere. Iron is very important, not to be taken unless advised to do so, okay? Now, we do sell kits in our clinics that are post-op kits for 3 months at a time, and your B1 is a 6-month supply. Those are readily available in each of our clinics, and you can take them home straight from the clinic. So if that is something that you would be interested in, please don't hesitate to just call the clinic or call us here, and we can make sure and save one of those for you, okay? So I hope that this was beneficial for you, and I hope that if you have any questions, you'll reach out to me. Good luck on your journey, and please do not hesitate to give us a call. Okay, thank you for watching.